This is a post from Lil Duval. DC got the same amount of fine women as Atlanta. Only difference is they really got money and a career.
So I thought this was especially interesting because I know a lot of men say career don't matter. And I thought it was interesting that Lil Duval mentioned career. It seems to matter. What are you guys' opinion on that?
I
Especially
think
my men.
I think men. It depends on the type of man you're dealing with. Um, any man that you are dealing with that has a lot don't want a bored wife. Bored wives lead to trouble. So he would probably want you to have something that you do, some sort of career. So I think that's really what Lil Duval was talking about. Some men want people at home all the time, and I wouldn't connect that to control issues. It's just how it just depends on how the man is raised. I don't think if a man comes on here and says he doesn't care about careers, it doesn't bother me. If a man comes on here and says he prefers a woman with careers, it doesn't bother me. I think that is all about a choice and their preference.
Yeah, yeah. I think that I think when men say that, that's more so gauging what type of woman this is. Is this a woman that has big goals, or is this a woman that's doing something just to get by? Your choice of word that says a lot about your not only your character, but also what it is that you're into. Is this woman a nurse? Then I can only assume that she's a caring, nurturing woman. Compared to, is this woman a lawyer? She may be up for controversy and wanting to fight and putting her foot down, and what I'm saying, giving you a run for your money, or a challenge rather. So I think that's more so what men mean by well, like one country said, uh it depends on what type of man that is and how he was raised, so
Mistaken?
I would say that I kind of agree with Cookie. I think it really depends on the man that it depends on the man. But I think for me, I think the ideal, more like in a general term, is I don't think most men, well, I'm gonna say black men, because usually we are talking about black relationships, black men have an issue with having an educated woman. From what I'm hearing, most of the issue is the mindset that they feel comes along with educated women, independent mindset, as opposed to a dependency mindset. So I think that is where, from what I hear, most of the issues around educated women are made.
AP?
So this, what we really care about, right? It depends on the type of career. If you say you're, for example, an influencer, in most cases we're gonna pass. We're gonna smash and then we're gonna pass on that, right? That's just typically how we move. Um, we want you to be able to sustain yourself as an adult. That's really what we want. We don't necessarily. I don't want to say care, but we don't really give. We don't really care what the career is as long as it makes sense and you can sustain yourself. Then when we come in, combine the resources and we grow from there. So do we care about how much money you make? Not necessarily, but we do kind of care on the trajectory of your life.
Pink?
Shit. I care about what you do. I do. I mean, I'm problem with an educated woman because I want that woman's going to teach our kids. So I don't want no idiot as a wife. That's yeah. I can't hold a conversation with an idiot. So not for long anyway. Especially be married to one. I couldn't imagine. So the hell with that. I don't want no woman who's I don't think no man wants a woman who's a prostitute, even a former prostitute, stripper. None of that shit. That shit reflects on me. You got my last name and that's what you are? Hell no. Why would I want a woman like that? And I know what it comes with. So no, I don't want yeah, her career is gonna determine on whether I'm gonna get with her or not. It is. In my early 20s, I mean, probably wouldn't care. More likely I wouldn't try to think about marriage anyway. I'm thinking about just getting some ass. So I didn't give a damn what you was doing. You probably could have been a goddamn stripper for all I care then. Now, you get in your 30s, you're like, oh shit, you don't want that type of activity, that type of stigma in your life. Saying, oh man, your wife was a stripper, man, when she was, going through college. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't know no man would, but there are some out there. Just no man in my circle would deal with some shit like that. So yeah, I think it really does depend on the career. We say it don't until they doing some shit we don't approve of. Then we like, oh fuck, hell no.
Hank, just a question. What careers aside from, I don't call stripping a career, I don't necessarily call influencing a career, but what careers are no goes for you aside from those obvious ones?
I wouldn't want a lawyer. I wouldn't want a doctor. She can't work at a goddamn Hooters, somewhere like that.
See, when I think of career, I don't think of restaurant jobs necessarily because I consider those jobs. When I think of career, I do think of things like lawyers and doctors. Why wouldn't you want your wife to be in that type of field?
I was going to ask that. I get lawyer because I got my child's father's a lawyer, and I love him to death. But the debating all the time, I'll never win. But the doctor, I'm confused. Like, can you elaborate the doctor?
Your time, you're not gonna have time for our kids, our family. The lawyer, same thing. Your career can affect our family like that. If you're constantly gone, and I need for you to raise the kids, that's gonna be a problem. For me, I know you said restaurant is not a career. AP, some people make a career out of the restaurant industry. They do. Sometimes they end up turning into bar owners or restaurant owners. I mean, that's
very different though. Like to me, now we're talking about general managing all the way to owning. Like that, your career is no longer necessarily the restaurant or the bar. Your career is in the paperwork. And I'm gonna tell you, as a former front of the house manager for a restaurant, that same amount of time, bro, that you were talking about with doctors and lawyers, they have to put in that same exact amount of time. When we're talking careers,
that's why I said I wouldn't deal with them. That's why I said that.
On his do not.
I'm not.
I see. Okay. You're right. I misunderstood.
So those are the type of individual women that I wouldn't have no relationship or look to marry, anything like that. Now, I will fuck you. I'll fuck a lawyer. I'll fuck a doctor. But I'm not going to marry you. I'm not because I know your time is going to be limited and it's going to be spread thin to the point where I'm not getting my needs met. Our kids are not getting their needs met. And you're just worried about your career. Okay, cool. I'm not the man for you. AP will take you. I will not.
I would have to say something about the doctors though. I know doctors who work 3 days out of the week. They're primary care. They're not like surgeons or on call. They're like primary care. They only have like certain hours. I think the flexibility in being a doctor is really great now. It's not like it used to be. You also know some dermatologists that go in once a week and make great money just going in once a week. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So don't knock a doctor if you know. Now she's one of those people who like is an overachiever. that's different. But you have some people who have cut back on those long hours, even doctors. So
There's different types of attorneys as well. I need y'all to understand that.
very true.
You can't
But
just
that
throw, first of
mentality,
all, a
though,
lawyer and an attorney aren't the same thing. First of all,
they
lawyers
are.
haven't
You're
passed
right.
the bar yet. Attorneys
Yep.
have.
Correct.
Attorneys can be in different roles. If you don't want like a prosecution attorney or somebody that's trying to become a judge or a defense attorney, I can definitely understand it because they stay in court. But the court only they can only work so long with the government. If they're researching at home, y'all can limit that. But say you get with a corporate attorney, right? This person is which is probably gonna be my future in like seriously. And like we're working with contracts and getting paid percentages that don't necessarily take up as much time, usually work from home. So I just wanted to throw that out there for the men in the chat because the men on the panel usually have already made their minds up and I don't do arguing. But for the men in the chat, there are different kinds of attorneys. First of all, get with an attorney, not a lawyer. The attorneys make more money. If y'all don't care about the money, just get with the attorney. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Um,
but still, your time is not going to be there. Even if you're working from home, you're going to be working.
you can
See,
manage your. What I'm telling you is there's different types of attorneys where
I
you
hear
can
you.
choose what contract you want to go. If you're a contractual attorney and you know that this contract gonna take up this much time, or you gotta be in Fiji, or you gotta be there, that's where you get to choose. So
So
when
now you're going to be out of the state, out of the country.
no, what I'm
Maybe
saying
it depends.
is you
I
pick and choose if you find the right attorney and the type of attorney that you get with. That's why I don't argue on the internet, Hink, up above me. If you get with the right attorney, you will have time. She will have time for you. So don't listen to Hink. Don't cancel out all attorneys because some attorneys I know go have a better life than me, and I'm a teacher and a coach.
Yeah,
and that's
I
why them
would.
motherfuckers are lonely as hell.
So
They lonely. Fuck that shit. Hell no.
listen, so I get what she's saying, but even so that's what my child's father is, a corporate attorney, and but he's a corporate attorney for an investment firm, and it does take up a great deal of his time, even though he's home. However, I see what you're saying. You can choose a company because some people are contracted out. You choose your time. Some people work for themselves. So any career that you get into, especially if it's one of those ones like being an attorney or you can contract the work out, you can set your own hours, especially when you have a certification that is needed, so to speak. So I see what she's saying. Not all attorneys are the same. They don't all run the same. You have people who work with kids, attorneys that work with kids. You have attorneys who work with certain disciplines that are very nurturing, so to speak, not necessarily in the courtroom, debating with other people. So I get what she's saying.
For a short period of time, I had dated a young lady that was an attorney. I don't remember what type of attorney she was. I want to say it was in like business or something like that, contract law. Um, but for the most part, I mean, she did work crazy hours sometimes, but at the time I was working a lot too as an entrepreneur. So it kind of worked out. The thing that was the problem in that relationship was she just wanted to debate about everything. Like it was never like a just us having a conversation or me saying something. Like it always had to be some type of challenge to it. And I'm not one of them type of guys. So that didn't work out too long. But aside from that, like her work for me, just with me being in the career that I'm in, it didn't really cause too much of an issue. So I think it depends on the guy and the needs and the desires that's there.
May I ask the man questions, Miss Shan? What do y'all consider debating? Do y'all consider asking questions like being a debater or being Like asking for more information. Is that what we talking about here?
It wasn't
Or just
even
being the condescending? Like,
it wasn't even necessarily like looking for more information. It was more so like
arguing opinions?
it was just challenging. You know, it just felt like everything was a challenge.
Oh, that's
Uh
sad. I'm sorry. I don't know why
So,
my child is calling me, knowing I have a show the same time
oh,
every
okay. I'm
Sunday.
like, what just happened?
She at work. Sorry.
go
Well, I'm
ahead.
sorry you had to go through that. I was just curious. Hank,
Oh
what
no, I
about
mean
you?
it's
What do you consider?
go ahead.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you consider debating? Like, I'm just trying to figure out
Oh,
what
so
y'all consider
I
debating.
think that there's a time and a place for that. Me personally, I love conversation. I love debating. You know, challenging each other's ideas and perspectives to further grow in that area. But you know, some things I feel like is not worth a debate. You know, what we eating or where we going, you know, something like that. Something that's simple that's not even worth, you know, the back and forth.
No,
See,
I get that.
I love good dialogue. I absolutely love it because I've learned to recognize that my opinion is not the only opinion, and my opinion is not the only opinion that matters.
Hmm.
So I love great dialogue. I love a female who asks questions. However, what I don't particularly enjoy, and I haven't actually seen a lot of this, if I'm going to be honest, personally, is challenging everything. Not everything needs to be a challenge. I can't see your name because I'm using my phone today, but like you said, you want to go out to eat, you choose a place, and then it turns into a into a 20-minute conversation. Does it need to do that? No. But again, I personally haven't run into much of that, and I'm
I
not
think
fighting with you anymore either.
I don't think that that's normal. I think that the biggest thing is when you're with because I have had an attorney in my life for a good bit of my life. I think that the problem is when you do have a conversation and it's like a going back and forth, it's like you're never gonna win the conversation. It's like I just might as well just be quiet, you know, because this
Yeah.
is like their major, like this is what they do for a living, right?
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
like I fold.
Yeah. But
Okay, you got it.
it wasn't even like I was trying to win the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it wasn't even a conversation for me to even attempt to win. It was just me, you know, making a view of, you know, maybe we shouldn't go over. We're not going to go to this restaurant because service is terrible, whatever. And well, blah 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 blah, and you know, because she likes the restaurant, you know, some shit like that. So it was
It's
just it was just a lot of just unnecessariness. I mean, aside from that, she was an amazing woman, successful, beautiful. But I'm just not into I'm not into that shit.